talk about how having a partner like Redapt allows companies to quickly react to and implement new technologies and build better processes as they grow?
So I think that's for me. So one way that we work with all of our clients is we work with them and we determine where their business really is headed. We're looking for issues that they're running into, ways in which they can be more efficient, digging in with their dev teams where we can to find opportunities to make things more efficient on their side. So we're not only just an MSP, we're just the pointy end of the spear, wherein we can tie you into other disciplines across the Redapt ecosystem that can allow for rapid transformation. We have a practice in AI and ML. We have a solid DevOps crew, application analytics, etc. We're always looking for ways in which we can help our customers.
That's great. So there are lots of MSP options out there. What makes Redapt unique? Why do customers love working with Redapt?
Well, one of the things that I find to be really compelling for a lot of our clients is we have the breadth and depth along a variety of different cloud technologies and providers. We have an amazing team focused on the technology ecosystem that live on top of our cloud providers in a variety of different marketplaces. So, from my perspective, we're not just an MSP. Everyone has an MSP. We bring so much more to the table from the perspective of people that will literally dig into, all the way into your code to determine, what's best and where we can help you migrate or become more mature.
Nathan, what is Redapt currently doing for customers? What are you seeing?
Well, from a technical account management, customer success management perspective, one of the big value adds is I'm monitoring their spend. I also make sure that I'm aligned with their long-term goals and their projects. So we have regular touch points, at least quarterly and often much more frequently. I have customers that I actually meet with every day. We want to make sure that we're integrated in their workflow so that there is that easy handoff in between the different practices. So as Rick mentioned, we have an application development team, analytics team. We have cloud engineers that do lift and shift migrations. We have DevOps engineers also, so for moving to containers and we even have customers that move between clouds. One of my customers right now is moving from one of the big three to another of the big three to realize some cost savings that we've identified. And then other deliverables, cost governance, the monitoring and recommendations that come from those tools, support ticket incident reporting, and root cause analysis. So when I review all the tickets that have gone through the system in the past period, I analyze them and bring to the customer, this is how we've set this to not be an issue in the future. And then also service level agreement performance. We have different SLAs, and it's very important to us that we meet those SLAs with our customers, and if we have any breaches, and they're rare, then we report back to the customer how we've rectified that.
That's great. Rick, we've talked a little bit about cloud governance. Can you tell us what that is and explain why it's important?
Well, cloud governance is a little bit more than just cost governance. The way I like to look at it is, if you're going to manage anything, you have to understand what the costs are, along with exactly what you're working with. We approach it from the perspective of course, your costs. We have expanded that into fully understanding what your security footprint looks like as well, through compliance as well as vulnerability scanning. So, from that holistic approach, we were able to actually provide a real picture as to what each and every one of our clients are really looking at. And that's really kind of key to the way that we focus on each and every one of our clients.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that. Nathan, can you talk a little bit about some use cases for savings or unexpected spikes?
I can give an example for each of the clouds. So from a GCP perspective, the customers on that platform, they all automatically get sustained use discounts. And that's an easy first lever to pull. And then there's a second lever called continuous use discounts, which are for machines that they leave on and services they leave on, basically 24/7. And what the built-in tools in the platform, they're a little bit vague, and they don't go into depth. They make it harder to divide it out. If the customer has, a product that's made up of projects or whatever their business, the way that they've organized their business on that cloud. So in the case of GCP, I and my teammates, we do a manual analysis where we use the power of Excel and pivot tables, and we're able to pull the data from the cost and usage reports from the cloud provider and develop our own solution. And we've been doing this for well over a year with and improving our processes as we go. For Azure is a different type of savings. They use reserved instances, and there's a couple ways to accommodate the cost savings. So there's you can look at the last 7 days, the last 30 days. You can look at it by account. You can look at it by region. And so this is generally when I'm working on an Azure cost optimization project, I'm thinking about what best fits for the customer's use case, and then presenting that reporting, of which then we can action it. AWS is the biggest and most complex of the three. Many customers have been using reserved instances, which were instituted in the mid-2000s, and they had to develop a marketplace at some point because customers had committed to a certain amount of spend per region, per instance type, and it's very complicated to administer. In fact, large companies have people that's their full-time job, is managing the reservations, the reserved instances. And then AWS also has a newer product called Savings Plans. And so we balance that out. We have ways for them to use reserved instances through a partnership that we have in the distribution channel, making it simple. And we have the ability to help them with basically the couponing of savings plans. And then with one of my big customers, I was even able to get them a higher discount with another program that AWS offered that required, scoping and meeting, and it required migrating workloads in, which they did have. They had a number of data centers that they hadn't moved to the cloud yet. So each of the clouds is different, is the point, and each of them requires kind of a different set of tools. But but really, it comes down to just analyzing what's best for the customer. From an unexpected spike case, that's more speaks to just having the right monitoring and policies, analyzing the spend in place, and that you get good at that through trial and error, rinse and repeat. You're iterating that. it's hard to know exactly how a customer is going to spend their money. In fact, they often don't know exactly how they're going to spend it, but so I keep a close eye on it, and I'm able to change the way that I'm watching and then who I'm reporting to.
That's great. Thank you. Rick, can you talk a little bit about some of the different ways you support your clients? So if we're thinking about, the continuum of services all the way from startup to larger companies, what are some ways that folks partner with you in the services that you provide?
Certainly. There's a variety of different ways in which we've supported our managed services clients, many of which are working with us through resale channels. Some are resale channel plus, standard and premium support. Premium support being us digging much farther into how how each and every one of these customers are looking to support their own clients. In which case, we're digging into their application infrastructure and supporting that, along with, obviously supporting any of their infrastructure needs, just kind of as a base. On top of that, we provide the cloud governance for every one of our clients, and in some special cases, we're very happy to dig into some just one-off monitoring requests. Like we're working with one client today that just wants us to be hands on keyboard, looking at how their their storefront works from hour to hour to ensure that their storefront works over the holidays. We run the breadth of a variety of different industry, from healthcare through e-commerce, and everything in between. So we're happy to help in any way possible. 99% of the time, we find a way to provide additional value that a customer doesn't expect from the very first day.